Also, Mr. David Adams, the president of the Virginia Shooting Sports Association, who is, I believe, in the middle of a very celebratory crowd this evening. David, good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Cam.
Well, it sounds awfully quiet. You must have stepped outside.
I did step outside, yes. I didn't want to, I didn't want to interrupt the governor-elect.
I was scared for a second. Oh, that's right, Governor-elect Bob McDonnell speaking right now, isn't he?
Speaking right now. It's not too many people I would leave the stage for to take a phone call, but you were right there at the top of the list.
Oh, bless you, David Adams, and we can hear the cheers in the background. So, I mean, let's talk about this, David. In the top three races in Virginia, Bob McDonnell, the NRANews candidate, winning the governor position. Lieutenant Governor Bill Bolling, A-plus rated, going up against F-rated Jody Wagner. He's winning handily. Ken Cuccinelli, the second, A-plus rated against the D-rated Stephen Shannon. And Ken Cuccinelli is going to be the next Attorney General in Virginia as well. This is a fantastic night for Virginia gun owners, David.
Yes, it is. In fact, Senator Cuccinelli came on stage with his McBolinelli clean sweep broom in hand. So gun owners came out on top tonight. I understand that we've also picked up a seat out in the Lynchburg area. And I haven't seen too many of the other returns because I've been downstairs most of the evening here waiting for the governor-elect to come on stage, but it is a good night for gun owners in Virginia. And, there are a lot of folks went out and did some hard work for this ticket, and I think we're going to be rewarded with it with a good 4 years.
I think you're right. Now, it's interesting, David, we were talking a little bit earlier in the program about the Attorney General, Steve Shannon, who in the last couple of weeks of the campaign decided to run as a gun control advocate. I mean, he was basically quoting from the Brady campaign playbook in an attempt to make up ground against Ken Cuccinelli. But I got to tell you, I'm looking at the election results right now. 88% of the precincts in. Ken Cuccinelli's winning 58.4 to 41.4%. Now that's outside of any polling I saw, which would indicate to me that Steve Shannon actually lost support when he decided to go after gun owners.
Senator Cuccinelli sent out an email to supporters, I think it was late last week, that talked about some of their polling they did in media markets and talked about that ad that Delegate Shannon put up and how it actually affected his negatives, that Shannon's negatives went up after that ad hit the air. And I think it was another classic example of what happened at the top of the ticket where the candidate told people what they shouldn't vote for instead of giving them a reason to vote for Steve Shannon. And it amazes me every time somebody tries to run and make gun control their issue, because time after time we see that people don't go to the polls because they support gun control, but gun owners do go to the polls to protect their rights.
Well, that's exactly right, and that's exactly what we're seeing in Virginia. As you mentioned, looks like there are going to be several pickups in the delegate races. We've talked about a couple of A versus F races. One of them is an A versus a D race in District 17. It looks like Bill Cleveland, the A qualified candidate, got a win over Gwen Mason, the D minus rated candidate. You've got several close races. One in the 34th district. Barbara Comstock has actually pulled ahead. She's the A qualified candidate, and she's beating now the incumbent Margaret Vanderhei, who's the F-rated incumbent. It's still a very close race, but Barbara Comstock's been able to make up some ground. So, by the time all is said and done, David, I mean, we could have several additional pro-gun delegates seated.
I think so. In fact, the Comstock was one of the ones that was being watched as a possible pickup for pro-gun folks, and that'll go late into the night, I'm sure. And if Comstock ends up winning that race, that'll be a clear win for gun owners. And to be up in the Northern Virginia area is even more important, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. Well, David, sir, we will let you get back to the celebration, but I appreciate you coming on the program this evening. It's great talking to you, and go have a good time tonight.
Well, I still got to go to bed so I can get up early and go to work tomorrow morning, but I'm going to enjoy it a little bit down here before I go home.
All right, Dave, thank you so much, sir. David Adams.
I would tell him, enjoy it, because you don't get the nights like this all that often.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thanks, David. David Adams join us here on the program.